And we are back on my search for what to do next. I think I remember where to go. I can't believe I was this dumb, but I don't think we need to do anything special with the circle to enter the library. So, we do have to do something special with it. But, as of right now, don't think
Some
we
kind of
do.
sandstone, very malleable, but also very vulnerable to the elements. These cliffs probably have huge, naturally formed caves and tunnels.
I don't think I have to do anything special to open it up. Yep, no I don't. I missed the downstairs over here. This is where we get a lot of our reading. As I'm actually rather far behind on this, I might try and update a bit more each day. I wasn't expecting to finish this whole thing in a month by any stretch of the imagination. See that wheel? We can't do anything with it right now.
It's one of the Sentinel Minstrel.
Let's talk to the priest.
Oh, goodness me, I didn't hear you come in. By the way, you haven't seen volume 6 of the complete annotated history of the Northlands, have you? I could have sworn it was here yesterday.
Sorry, no.
I guess someone else must have taken it. I try to tell them to write down what they borrow on the list, but they never listen. Only last week I spent 3 hours searching the entire enclave for the second scripture of the ballads, the scripture of song, before I realized that Vestrum Tobias was studying it.
Also, I do want to thank everybody that's been watching this so far.
Now, such incidents
Makes me
could
feel
be
happy.
avoided if only, and this applies to you too, young lady, people would sign out the books they borrow when they borrow them, and sign them back in when they're done. Such a simple procedure. It shouldn't take more than a few seconds to jot down your name and the name of the book you borrow. It makes my job so much easier. Now, which book did you want me to find for you?
Are you Minster Yaren?
Yes, of course. What a silly question.
A silly question indeed.
How would I know? I don't know you.
I am Minstrom Yeren, keeper of the great library of Mercuria. In fact, this is the greatest library.
One of my characters was in, this is actually quite a puny library. I mean, look at that.
Perhaps of the entire world. Although they say the dark people have a library as big, if not bigger, than this one. But of course, we're not allowed anywhere near there. Have you been there?
No.
I don't think...
What a silly question. Of course you haven't. You're not of the dark people, are you? You don't look like any dark people I've ever seen, so I can't see how you could possibly...
Alright.
Now, where did Volume 6 disappear to?
Tobias said I should talk with you.
Tobias? Vestrum Tobias? I haven't seen him for... Well, he was in last week, but before that it must have been days at least. How is he? Is still eating enough for 2 mules? I must tell you of this funny story I heard the other day, of how Vestrum Tobias eats enough for a table full of minstrum. Or was it one Elguan? Although the Elguan don't, as a rule, eat very much at all. Did you know that the Elguan can smell water more than half a day's journey away? Amazing, amazing creatures, perfectly suited for life in the desert. Balance provides, that's for certain. The balance provides.
Well,
Vestrum Tobias recommended that I look at some books.
Books is what we do best here at the Enclave, that is for certain. Which book would you like to see?
we have reading to do. Alright.
I'm looking for some information, but I'm not sure which book to ask for.
Start at the top.
No matter. I know a great deal about most of the books in here. What topic intrigues you?
I've heard rumors about mermen who live beneath the Sea of Songs, and I'd like to find out more about them.
Mermen in the Sea of Songs. Let me see what I can find, yes?
The big thing about these books is I think all of the choices remain, or at least most of the choices remain. Because if you need to ever look up information again, or if you want to read it again, it's easier to come back.
I did find something of interest. I'll leave it here for you to read.
Alright, let's take a look. Merum. Also, mermen, merpeople, Merians. A magical people who reside in the depths of the great ocean and other seas. Little contact has been made with the Merum, who are believed to have been quite numerous in the past, but are now dwindling in numbers. Confirmed locations of Merum cities is now between the Bristol Atoll and Gain, centering on the Sea of Songs. Legends of mermen, merpeople, Merians, are rampant amongst sailors. These stories portray the Merum in a grotesque and violent light, betraying the truth of a largely peaceful people. Although not much is known about the Merum, their religion apparently centers around the belief of a benevolent God who lives in the immense depths of the great ocean, and who brought the Merum to Earth from a place wonderful. Place distant and wonderful.
Are you done? Let me take that back for you.
Note that he'll get it from random places and put it all back up in the same place. More books.
Oh, goodness, it's you.
Could I see some?
Ocean?
I'm looking for...
No.
Alright.
Are there any books about flying people who observe and tell stories?
Winged storytellers. Let me see what I can find. Hold on.
All places will have to go. Huzzah! Huzzah!
I did find something.
Let's go take a look. The
The island of
Alatian.
Elias, near the Briston Atoll. Maybe I should try to go there.
Ooh, diary. A crafty winged people who have recently dwindled in numbers and whose ability to fly long distances has been steadily diminishing over the past few centuries. The Alatian are known for their ability to remember and tell stories from before the dawn of mankind and up to modern events. The largest known tribe of Alatian with whom traders have occasional contact resides on the otherwise uninhabited island of Elias in the Briston Atoll.
Are you done?
Unfortunately, you can't make this guy run. And watch. He'll put it back in the place he put the other book back.
Could I see some?
Ocean?
I'm looking for...
No, ma'am.
Alright.
I need to find out which four magical people of Arcadia were given a piece of the stone disc that serves as the key to the Guardian's realm.
The stone disc of the Barons, yes? Yes, there could possibly be something on that in... let me check. Just one moment.
I do want to thank everybody that... I think I said this already, but I want to thank everybody who's been watching this one so far. It's one of my favorite games, so I'm really happy that everybody's enjoying it. I'm up to 16 subscribers, and once I get to 2,000 videos or views, I think I'll make something special.
I'll leave it here for you to read.
You know, it's kind of funny because like All these people have like billions of views. I'm really happy with getting about 2,000. Chapter 16 in the 8th Scripture, the Scripture of Breaking, regarding the disc of the balance and the events that came about when the disc was broken. The Scriptures tell us that the disc was kept at the enclave for many thousands of years, safely guarded from any threat by the respect held by every man and woman for the authority of the fathers. But with dissent came disobedience, and disobedience brought immorality. Immorality begat theft. Tyrant soldiers, aided by sentinel traitors, attempted to make away with the disc, but were thwarted by the wife of Kin herself, intervening, although forbidden to do so, on behalf of the fathers. The disc was brought safely back to the enclave, but the threat would linger in the minds of the minstrum and the vestrum. So it became that the disc was melted in the forge of the dragon's mouth and shaped into the elements of 4 magical people, and given to these respective people for keeping until such a time it was decreed that it should once more be whole. 1 stone to the gentle souls that sing in the dark and shape the earth between their toes. 1 stone to the watchers of the wood, the ones who are outside. 1 stone to the 2 that make one, of air and of sea. And 1 stone to the keepers of the dark flame, the eternally dark, the mariners. When the time comes for the disc to be whole again, 1 person will make a journey to the 4 who hold the pieces, and the pieces will be given willingly, because there will be no doubt to the righteousness of this person.
Are you done?
Just magically gets put back wherever the...
Could I see some more books?
Alright.
I'm looking for...
No.
I'd like to learn more about dragons, about the Dragakin.
Oh, yes, yes. We have some wonderful books on that topic. Stay here.
Because dragons.
I did.
Let's go. Secrets of the Drakekin by Menstrom Elec. Forward. Drakekin are known by many names throughout the Twin Worlds. In all tongue, they are often referred to as Drakkin, and some variations of Low Tongue, Draken. In the Southlands, the word Dragich refers specifically to the winged lizard shape traditionally associated with the kin. In Erhad, the eternal spirits of the kin are simply called the Drak, regardless of their current shape. In Stark, most of their cultures refer to the kin as Dragon, Drage, Drak, and Dragonite, though this usually refers only to the winged lizard-like shape and not to the spirit inhabiting this shape. In fact, we're in Arcady, and the kin are respected and revered as eternal spirits, with great significance in the balance and the all. In Stark, the kin are mostly creatures of mythology and fairy tales. However, in some Stark legends and scriptures, notably the Christian Bible, the name dragon is associated with the forces of evil, and thus the religious connotations do seem to have carried over into somewhat distorted form. Who or what are the Dragakin? Why not ask who is the creator, or what is the all? The question thus asked will remain in perpetuity unanswered, for they are in truth unanswerable. To condense all knowledge of the creator into one answer is futile, as is any attempt to define the all without describing every single element that makes up the all. So also with the Drakekin, we cannot answer who is the kin or what is the kin, but we can provide some answers to the simpler questions, and questions that deal with what we see and hear and feel, and what we have been told by the kin themselves. The answer to that, together, may give us, if only the faintest hint of the whole truth, and then at least some indication of who or what the Drakekin are. Born of the emptiness between the stars, reads the 11th Scripture of the Balance, and the Scripture of Time, shaped in unison with the All. Part of the All, yet outside the All, Drakekin. Note the ancient High Tongue variation of Drakekin. Why so many cultures, variations, interpretations of the Drakekin from culture to culture? kin have always been shrouded in mystery, and from mystery rises legend and myth. The kin seem content to be seen as nothing but tales and figments of a bard's fertile imagination.
Are you done? Let me...
And you can all pause and read it as a thing, because as I was reading it, there should be plenty of time to pause if you want to read it on your own. If not, well then, tough luck.
Oh, goodness, it's you again. You gave me such a fright.
Could I see some... I'm looking for some...
No.
Alright. I don't know if there's any more.
I forget.
I know how it is. I forget things all the time. I even forgot my own name once. Couldn't remember it for a whole week, and then someone called for me, and I couldn't find him. Strangest thing.
Alright.
I'm looking for a story called The Silver Spear of Gorimon.
Yes, a fanciful tale if I ever saw one, but a charming one. Did you know that I'm often paid visit by adventurers wishing to read everything available on the spear so that they too can set out on their foolish quests?
Yeah, don't you just hate those adventurers?
Well, they pay for my bread, milk, and butter with their contributions to the coffers, so I shouldn't be too critical of them. But they care not about the books. They care only about what the books can give them.
I care. About the books, really?
I can tell. So, the Silver Spear of Gorimon, then?
Yes, please. I'll double check at the end of this, but I don't think there's more about the dragon.
I did find some.
The Silver Spear of Gorimon. In the glory days of Baksheva, before the drought, when Gorimon was the great city known in the world, the Parich of Baksheva decided to forge the most powerful weapon in the world to challenge the mighty white dragon. The pirate had become greedy and bored, his treasure hold filled with the riches of the world, and he desired nothing except the one thing he could never have, the unborn daughter of the white dragon, the fairest, purest, most beautiful creature in the universe. He had asked the white dragon for her daughter's hand in marriage, but she had refused, scolding him for his insolence and warning him to keep his distance from immortals. And so the pirate sought the advice of a mighty sorcerer, the dark and cruel Eos, to learn how to kill one of the great kin. The sorcerer told the pirate of the white silver of Mount Tyranny, the strongest substance in Arcadia, and how it could be forged by magic to kill even one of the kin. The pirate ordered his army, I have no clue how to pronounce that, his army to go north, across the ocean, and bring back enough white silver to shape a weapon. When his men returned with the rare metal, Brick ordered the finest blacksmith in Baksheva to his castle, where Eos the sorcerer cast a spell to create an unholy forge. 10 days and 10 nights it took before the exhausted blacksmith could present a tall spear to his emperor. Before the spear could be used to kill one of the kin, it had to be bathed in blood. Beheading the poor blacksmith and the soldiers who had retrieved the white silver, the pirate private bath was filled with their blood. As he dropped the silver spear into the red bath, watched over by Eos, a terrible scream erupted, and steam rose up in a red foul-smelling cloud. When the steam lifted, the red blood was all gone, and the spear was glowing in a deep red color. With the terrible weapon now ready to be wielded, the pirate issued a challenge to the white dragon, to either surrender her daughter to him for marriage, or to suffer a painful death. Enraged, the white dragon refused him yet again, and flew to meet the pirate, the sorcerer, and his 1,000-strong army in their green fights outside of Gorimon. Of the magical silver spear she knew nothing, and the parrot kept it wrapped in cloth by its side. Bring your forces around, parrot. If you do not, I will lay waste to them all. I wish my men no harm, but this is between the two of us. He rode forward alone, dismounted his horse, but stayed within reach of the spear. White Dragon lay before him. You are brave to face me like this, when you know you cannot harm me. Then the parrot raised a hand as if to greet her, but instead assigned to a sorcerer, who cast a mighty spell to hold the White Dragon, while the parrot drew a silver spear. The White Dragon fought bravely, but she was close to escaping the sorcerer's magic. The parrot was quick, and he thrust the magic spear into her chest. She screamed in pain and anger, and the sorcerer's spell could no longer hold her. Rising on her beautiful wings, blood pouring on the land below, she cursed Bathsheba, her parrot, and her people for all time. Wherever the White Dragon's blood fell, the land turned arid and grass became sand. Perek sent his army to follow the White Dragon and bring back her egg, but the drought grew, and within days, the once proud empire of Bathsheba was turning into a desert. Then followed a fierce storm that tore the land for 100 days and nights, and when the dust settled, nothing left of Bathsheba but 2 coastal cities and a few scattered oases. It is said that the buried ruins of a lost capital, wrapped in the arms of the parrot who dared test the immortal, rests the silver spear of Gorman.
Are you done?
Kind of a depressing story there.
Mercuria would be interesting.
Ah, an extensive subject to be sure. I will do my best. I did find...
Alright, let's take a read. Travels in the Northlands. In my many years as a traveling poet and bard, I have journeyed far and wide across the fair realm of Arcady, and I have seen sights most people have not dreamed. I have stood on the magnificent and terrible southern capes in the mists of winter, when the storms are at their fiercest, while waves as tall as the towers of Altaban wash over my frozen body. I have witnessed the monstrous beasts that lurk in those dark and deadly waters of the south swallow brave galleons whole, creatures the size of mountains that with a flick of a tail can touch the depths of the sea and the stars themselves. I have crossed the great ocean from north to south, from east to west, and in the course have been stranded on desert islands with no sustenance but what I could gather from sparse vegetation for months at a time. I have ridden the giant Eglon across Shangriel, the wasteland, and from Altaban to Monterba, and further south, where the true oases are far and few between. I have seen the shifting dunes above the ruins of Gorman, precious jewel of Bakshivan. The Bakshivan Empire, concealed for centuries by coarse and treacherous sand, and I have journeyed far west, carried on goodwill and destiny by shadow ships, through the strange and unknown cliffs of a world unseen by most, a world of an unfamiliar tongue and customs, a world of great wonder and mysticism. I have seen all this and more, but the fairest sight still I have seen in the lands of the north, from Ide to the border mountains, from Tyrene to the Bay of Fire. No sight can ever compare to dawn at Mount Tyranny, looking out to the plains of Nedra, where the wild stallions run free in thousands, and to look on the city of Coruscant, the pearl of fire, where the boiling sun sets in the ocean beyond, the still waves reflecting dark yellow and red, as they lap slowly upon sandy shores, is an experience truly treasured and ne'er forgotten. These lands are blessed by the Creator, shaped by men, yet wild and free and fertile, home to the greatest cities, the most precious sights, and the most cultured and civilized people in Arcady. Of all the fires I have rested my weary legs by, all the taverns where I have learned the legends of tale spinners, memories of all the lands where I have wandered, it is to the Northlands I return time and time again to learn ever more. Join me now, for I will evoke you in the very emotions I first experienced when visiting the sights and treasures of the northern lands. Join me, and I will surely bring you there, to the exotic mist of this blessed land, and you will pine for its rugged coast and green woods and its hardy people, and like me you will never rest until you can return to yonder shores.